Today I'll be going through the top 5 things you probably don't know about living in Salt Lake City, Utah. Hi, my name's Gardiner. I'm a local realtor. If you get any value from this, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. If you have questions, feel free to reach out and stay till the end to learn one crazy fact that a lot of people don't realize when they get to Utah. Number 1, this blows everyone away. We don't have mail ship alcohol service here. A lot of people that come are part of a wine club or something like that where they get stuff delivered. And here in Utah, that's against the law because all liquor and beer is controlled by the state of Utah. Anything above 5%, you have to go to a state-owned and run liquor store to purchase any wine, liquor, beer above 5% ABV. There are workarounds of this that some people have found. You know, there might be some mailbox delivery out of state, typically in Idaho or Evanston, Wyoming, but I don't know how legal those are, so be careful. The second weird thing about Utah that you don't realize when you think about other cities in the western United States is we had neighborhoods that were slowly developed over the last 30 to 50 years. As farmers sold off farmland, a new subdivision would be built. And other farmers wouldn't sell off farmland. So the house I moved into in 1995 was in this subdivision called Melanie Acres. But all around us was still a whole bunch of farmland for onions and corn and things like that. Later on, when I was in high school, those other pieces of land got sold and slowly developed. So here in Utah, you'll see, typically the old farmhouse that's from the early 1900s, and then you might see a brand new neighborhood around it. Or you might see a neighborhood from the 80s in, a square mile or a few acres. Then you might see a bunch of houses from 2020. So it's really interesting as you drive through some of these areas, how different some of the housing opportunities can be. Number 3 is kind of interesting because it's expected, but out in the West and in Utah especially, we are very car-centric. Everything's really far away, nothing's easy to get to, so you're always driving. We do have a really good public transit system, but that didn't start being developed till just before the Olympics. So when we think about how important cars are here, a lot of people, they'll commute 30 minutes into work via car. And so we have big freeways and they keep expanding Interstate 15. They keep developing more freeways. We have huge parking lots. It's always easy to find parking when you go shopping here in Utah. Even downtown when they redevelop the mall, there's like 4 levels of underground parking underneath 2 city blocks for the City Creek Mall. As I kind of mentioned just before, the 4th thing that you might not know about Utah is how awesome our public transportation system is. So as we got the bid for the 2002 Olympics, the state, UDOT, they started developing a transit system mostly to get people around downtown easier. The opening ceremonies were held at Rice-Eccles Stadium on the University of Utah campus, so we put in the red line that went from there to downtown. There was a blue line also at that time that went from the Delta Center to downtown and just a little bit south. Now there's a line that goes all the way out to Daybreak in West Jordan, South Jordan. We have a line that goes all the way to the airport. There's one that goes to Draper. And then we also have the front runner rail that goes from Ogden to Provo. So our transit system is really, really grown up and it's used a lot now. I know, now we're gonna have the Olympics for 2034 probably. I know it's not announced, but I hear it's very, very likely. So I imagine the state is gonna invest more money into making that even better, that and bus service. And here's the kicker. This is the one that surprises everyone. In Utah, partly because of our elevation, so in Salt Lake City, we're around 4,200 feet elevation. If you're in Park City, you're between 6,000 and 6,500 feet elevation. We have a lot of athletes that train here, partly because of the Olympics, because we still have all of our Olympic infrastructure. We have the ice skating rink for speed skating. We have the downhill slalom. Well, we have all the ski resorts, but the ski jumps are still active. We have the bobsled course still available. So we get a lot of very talented athletes here. And I have a friend that moved from Washington, D.C. to Utah, and he couldn't believe how much faster the bicycle racers were here. I know that sounds crazy, but on any given bicycle ride, you're gonna probably have 2 to 3 Olympians who are training also for the Winter Olympics show up to that bike ride, and they are fast. So those are the top 5 things you probably didn't know about Utah when you thought about it at first, but they're important to know, especially if you're into the outdoors, if you're into shopping and things like that. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. My information's below. My number's 801-660-9173. Have a great day.